Hey guys, Adam here from Lawn Hub and welcome back. Today we've got a giveaway to do and I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked on Instagram, so stick around. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to get stuck into it straight away here. We're on a tight schedule today. It's Friday, it's the day before the big day, the AFL Grand Final, so I want to get this done. First of all, the shirt, the I'm a Mower, Not a Grower range, came back with some wicked results. So Clint, I'm getting some made. It was 81% for yes and 19% for nah. So those 26 people who voted nah. Anyway, I'm not going to answer all the questions. Some of them are double ups, and to be honest, there's a lot of questions here, but I'll see how I go. Basically, the best two questions we'll get one of these. The best question will get first choice, and then the second best will get what's left over. We have a Solo 406, which is a 6-litre battery powered. I've got one, I absolutely love it. It's really good for my front green area and out the back. I suppose it would be good if you already had, say, a big spray that you use for your lawn. This could be used as dedicated herbicide or something like that. And then the 425 is I believe it's a 10 litre, 15 litre, 15 litre hand pump. Again, really good sprayer and would serve the same purpose as either or, but depending on which one you want. So I will start with, I'll read the names out. So Paul, Klim Keswick, I'm not sure, I'm sorry about that. Best way to tackle moss growing in the lawn. A bit of sun and liquid iron actually likes to pulverize some moss. Of course there's other treatments as well, but iron sulfate is probably your best friend there and probably the cheapest way. What products of yours would be best to fertilize Kaku? That's from Cade Hardy. Trojan is what we recommend for most lawns, if not all lawns. But if you're looking for a pack, my favorite pack at the moment is a dry college pack. So you get a wetting agent in that as well, and you get the liquids as well. The tool shed, massive fan of the channel, this bloke. Number one tip for people new to lawn care is don't overdo it, don't overthink it. And to me, for someone getting into lawn care, so there's sort of like two parts to this question. There's new lawns for people that are into lawn care. So like, you've just built a new house, you're new to lawn care. What do I do? In that sense, you really want to start with the foundations of the lawn, which is the soil. Make sure you do your proper preparation. Get that soil prep nice and how you want it. You want at least 50 mil of subsoil, at least. Like the more the better, but of course, you know, there's costs involved in that, and you know, everyone's on a budget these days. So for me, if you've got the budget, you've got a very limited budget, work on the soil. And basically from there, I believe with the right fertilizer plan, you'll be fine. Also look at irrigation, of course. It's a lot easier to do it at the start rather than in the middle when you've already got a lawn established. And for someone who's just, say, they've bought a house and it's got a lawn, and that, you know, number one tip for that person, again, is don't overcomplicate things. You know, see what's going on in the lawn. Is there some weeds? Basically, you want to see what's going on, and then if it's nice and green, well then don't overcomplicate it. Just keep fertilizing it and you'll be fine in most cases. But if it's got some weeds, you can always send some photos into us and we'll help you diagnose a problem. But yeah, I'd say the main thing would be just don't overcomplicate it. So the next question is from Bill Griff 13. Parts of my grass have turned to dirt. I have Kaku. Should I try let it spread out or seed it? So depending on where that part's gone to dirt, so is it under a tree, is it in the shade, like obviously might need a bit more context on that question, but best thing about Kaku is it will spread in the right conditions. So all you need to do is wait for it to warm up, maybe aerate the dry patches or the bare patches and scruff the dirt up a little bit and allow the Kaku to creep into it. Bit of a feed, but yeah, that's what I'd do if it was, say, in the middle of the lawn. You might be looking at other areas as well, or other reasons as to why it's turned to dirt, but yeah, I kind of need a bit more in that one, but that's fine. Joel Bennett 987, is it safe to spray a liquid fert on freshly scalped lawn given there isn't much leaf present? If you're referring to the Lawn Hub range, the only one that I would spray would be roots and shoots and then water it in. Other than that, I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. Attitude 181 just laid new sapphire turf in Sydney and would like to know when and what to use. The cherry popper pack comes with an application calendar. What is the best sprayer to use for a 500 square metre lawn? That's, yeah, I'm not going to try that one. Yeah, 500 metres, that's bigger than my block at home, so that's a big area. Look, I actually don't know. I suppose some form of trolley one would be good, or a walk behind one, where it has a boom, say for about, I don't know, 6 nozzles, something like that. When I looked into it, I think King Chrome do one. I was looking to sell some on the website, but yeah, of course, shipping and stuff these days. So I'd look for a walk behind for that area for sure. This next question's from the Melbourne Lawnie. How did the Lawn Hub business start? Well, that's a good question, and one that Clint's already answered on one of his videos, so there'll be a link or something in the description to take you straight to that, and he'll give you a way more in-depth explanation as to how it started as a business. Midsy95, top 3 tips for the best way to navigate another moist as summer. Number 1, you gotta let it dry out. There's no point trying to flog a dead horse. You just gotta let it dry out. Number 2, assess the damage. Assess what's going on. Have you got areas of disease? Have you got areas of, bend? So, like, you need to assess. And then number 3, you need to sort of work on a prescription to then fix the damage. That'd be my top 3. Of course, always send in your questions and stuff like that, and we can help you through. Jeremy Thwaites, I'm not sure. I know he's got a wicked lawn. Have you thought about doing a video on a cylinder mower restoration? Well, funny about that, the cylinder mower, the 14-inch that Clint used up at Railways, I was supposed to film a restoration series on that, but yeah, I might have forgot. Yeah, I stripped that back to bare bones and put it back together. Yeah, and it wasn't until I finished it, I've gone, I was supposed to film that, so yeah, sorry about that. Coddy, can you do like a beginner's introduction pack for a new user? That is what we class as the Lawn Builder pack. That's a very generic, straightforward beginner pack. It's got Trojan, BBW and some roots and shoots. 3 of my favourite products. So, Swiney96, does Trojan get rid of Poa annua? No, does the complete opposite. It fertilises it and makes it grow better. Depending on what lawn you have, something like Poa Check, the dirty M word, Monument, yeah, I said it, and David Gray's Winter Grass Killer. Lockie LC79, is there a point you would consider a lawn beyond repair and time to rip and start over? Look, if you think it's beyond repair, then by all means, but I suppose another question back to that would be, why is it beyond repair in your opinion? So why has it got to that state? Is there environmental reasons? Is there big, huge gum trees and then a new lawn wouldn't survive there anyway? Lockie, send some more photos in. I'd love to help you diagnose, I suppose, if you're having an issue, I'm happy to help. But yeah, look, I think most lawns are salvageable with the time and effort, but yeah, I'd want to see more of that to be able to answer that one a bit easier. J Quick 86, how early after mowing can you apply roots and shoots or anything like that is sprayed on? Straight away. Yeah, I apply it straight away and I've got no issue. So as long as you read the label, obviously if you're applying wet, make sure you water that in. The other 3 products you don't need to water in. So Mick Porter 33, I fertilise before the rain. Can you have too much rain and wash through the soil? I got this question a lot, and basically if water is pooling on the top of the lawn and it doesn't clear once the rain stops, then you're going to get washout. You're going to probably get severe washout. If you've applied it, watered it in, and then it rains for a little bit, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. Adrian Bike Guy, why Lawn Hub over so many brands? Well, first of all, our buckets are the best. Like, not only do you get a wicked bucket, you also get to keep it, so you can use it for whatever you want in the shed. I use mine for old oil, nuts and bolts, anything. I use it for anything. Another reason is we're 100% South Australian operated and owned. So none of your money that comes in goes overseas. It stays right here in Australia. We support local businesses as well. So our liquids, all of our Trojan, all of our fertilizer is mainly made here in South Australia. There's only a few that get sourced outside of South Australia. So again, it's Australians helping Australians, and Clint's massive on that. So the same thing happens at WaterPro. They're massive on Australian manufacturers. So, and I think we're good people. I think our customer service is way above everyone else. And our memes last year were the best, and no one will ever beat our memes. And it also makes for a nice hat. So yeah, out in the sun. Obviously wash it beforehand, otherwise you'll get an itchy head. Daniel's Lawn Care. What's your favourite turf variety? Santa Ana Cooch. It's my favourite. I grew up with it. You can do so much with it. It's so versatile. It survives the stupid heat that we get out in Gawler. So, JM Landscapes New South Wales. Who's behind all the sex-related names? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Lawn Amateur. Best quick hit fertilizer to use after a reno and then slow release going forward. Something like Trojan or Got Laid, either or. Got Laid is a very good fertilizer to use at renovation time. It's got more phosphorus in it, and phosphorus is what lawns need to be able to recover. That's why we use it in new lawns and stuff like that. So, what is the biggest myth surrounding amateur turf maintenance? That's the biggest username name I've ever seen in my life. So 418 shut. Yeah, anyway. The biggest myth, that you need everything, because you don't. Yeah, you don't need everything. You can work off a real basic schedule or plan, and you'll get really good results. So yeah, that's probably the biggest myth. Whiskey and wax. When doing a reno on buffalo, how low do you mow? Just as I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, guys. I hate buffalo. It scares me, and I hate giving advice on buffalo when it comes to mowing and scalping and scarifying and all that. I even hated working on buffalo lawns. But when doing a reno on buffalo, as long as you still have green leaf showing, that for me is comfortable. Other people may want to go to dirt. That's fine. That's your lawn, but if I'm giving advice about buffalo, it's as long as you still have green leaf showing and you've got rid of all the thatch. That's all I'm willing to say on that one. Fresh garden maintenance. I have bottles of the Roots and Shoots 3-Way Money Shot. When should I apply these? Well, Roots and Shoots, I apply monthly. 3-Way, I apply monthly but bi-weekly. So, like say for example, monthly on week 1, I'd apply Roots and Shoots, and then on week 2, I'd apply 3-Way, and then let it go until, hope that makes sense. And Money Shot whenever I want that big, green out, I've got people coming around, or I just want the street to be, in envy of my lawn. That's when I put down Money Shot. Adam MCC 005, nice name, Adam. Can you do Trojan in a 20 kilo bag? I've looked into it, and that's as far as I got. Yeah, I'm looking into it, looking down avenues in which we can do that. But yeah. Dean Kelly, how long after spreading Trojan will you notice it take off on zoysia? Well, it depends on the climate in which you're in, but usually you'd like to see a result within 7 days, at least. McLeaven, 14. Difference between Spartan and bow and arrow. Spartan's a pre-emergent herbicide, which means it will prevent future weeds from popping up, and bow and arrow is a post-emergent herbicide, meaning it will kill current weeds. Simon Jones, what should or shouldn't we do in such wet weather at the moment with the lawn? What should you do is leave it alone. Just let it dry out. That's the only piece of advice that I have. Just leave it alone. Precious, I'm terrible. I was never good at English, so I'm sorry if I botch these names. Precious Kitchen, how often can you use Spartan? I use it every 6 months. Chris Lofaro, Have I missed a boat this year to scout my lawn? Absolutely not. Probably still a bit early, to be honest, depending where you live, but you definitely haven't missed a boat. Lock Boyd, M9. What's the best piece of advice for a young mower that's still a bit wet behind the ears? That's a good question. So I suppose that this person has a lawn mowing business, and for something like that, is take each lawn you work on, take it lawn by lawn. Obviously each lawn is going to be different. You know, you may go from a very nice lawn to a poor lawn. Obviously things that you incorporate on a good lawn you can use on a poor lawn, but there's obviously other stuff that you're going to have to do to then bring that poor lawn back to I suppose an acceptable standard. Best piece of advice would just be go at each lawn as an individual, because no two lawns are the same. Difference between liquid fertilizer and mini pill or normal hand fertilizer. Without getting too sciencey, that's a blooper. Liquid fertilizer is taken up via the leaf, whereas a granule fertilizer is taken up mostly by the roots once it's been watered in. Yeah. How long should I wait to mow after application? Application of what, sorry? If it's bow and arrow, something like 3 to 5 days. If it's Trojan or a granular fertilizer, you want to give it at least 7 days for the granules to break down. If it's a liquid fertilizer, then yeah, same as bow and arrow, 3 to 4 days, 3 to 5 days. That was by Ollie Smith, 28.
Can I ask you a question about like before application? How long should you wait before application?
So Duffy's asked a great question there. He's asked how long should you wait before application? So if it's a granular fertilizer, you can do it the same day. Liquid fertilizer, you can do it the same day. Bow and arrow, you cannot apply bow and arrow on the same day of mowing. You need to wait at least 3 to 5 days. And something like Astro growth regulator, again, I think that's 6 hours after mowing you can apply it from memory. So they've all got their different recommendations, but yeah, fertilizer is usually pretty good. Weekends at something with a W. You're living in Melbourne and it rains for fun. Is wetting agent still necessary? That's a good question, because I actually got a few of those questions. If the lawn's absolutely saturated and soaked, no, it's not, because it's going to be a waste of product. If you have decent drainage in your lawn, it's a tough one, because I'm an advocate for wetting agents. I love wetting agents, whether it's BBW or wet. I absolutely love them, and I always try to apply them as often as I can. Again, if the lawn's saturated, no. If it's just, rain here and there, I would still be applying a wetting agent, absolutely. Now, this Lawn Projects has asked 5 questions. So he obviously wants one of those, wants one of these sprayers, but I'll answer all of them, except one, because I've already answered it. Advantages of upgrading to a brass wand on your solo. The advantages is there is no disadvantage, in my opinion. It's completely transformed my solo 414 that I use at my old man's place. That then moves into his next question, which is the best setup for nozzles, dual heads, wands, etc. for your solo sprayer. So for a solo 414, the best upgrade, in my opinion, is the brass one, the 60 centimeter boom attachment with the yellow nozzles. That to me gives the best spread, and ease of application is so much better. How to lift up grass that has been compacted when a car has tracked over it. One of those manual hand corers, like the Multi from Moparts Oz. George does a wicked manual corer, something like that. It's going to then relieve the compaction where the car was. It's going to get air, moisture and nutrients into that root zone, and then the lawn will naturally, with sunlight, bounce back up. How often to put down soil wetting agents in the different seasons? So obviously in winter you don't have to apply them as often, but it's still recommended that you do apply them during winter. But during the summer, depending on the heat, I like to get a wetting agent down at least once every 4 weeks during the summer period. That goes, for me, starts from spring all the way through to Easter. I still like to do it at least, once a month. And then in the winter season, you could push it out to once every 2 months. So once every 8 weeks. Rate My Line asks, when will you put back some hoodies in stock? I'm doing a merch order at the moment, so very soon they'll be back in stock. Robbo Hamilton, what are the yellow grains? How do I get them to penetrate the canopy of Santa Ana? I assume he's talking about the yellow granules that are in Trojan. I think it's in Got Laid, and there's some in Plan B. The yellow granules are the slow release element of the fertilizer, so they'll naturally break down over time. In order to get them to penetrate through the canopy of Santa Ana, if you have used Trojan, then using something like a mini April, like Plan B or Mini Peel, that's going to help it get through. If you have used that, then you must have really fine cut turf. Then maybe moving forward, a liquid fertilizer might be a better avenue for you in that sense. Otherwise, you're looking at a real Mini Peel, which is like, Mini Peel is 150 SGN. You're probably looking at something like a 75 SGN, which is then half the size again of Mini Peel. If you have a really short cut turf like a bowling green or a putting green or something like that. And the last question from Z4CY73. I like this one actually. Wife helped spray the weeds with Roundup. Any advice to return would be great other than ride it out. Removal of dead material of the lawn that she sprayed, and then from there, unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait it out, whether you use a liquid fertilizer or something like one of these. Roots and Shoots is probably going to be a best friend, and something like Trojan, just to help promote new growth. Roundups is a good one to kill your lawn. So, that's all of the questions. I managed to get through them all. So, the two best questions that I had, in my opinion, was the one about the young lawn guy, which is... so Lockie Boyd M9, what's the best piece of advice for a young mower that's still a bit wet behind the ears? Lockie Boyd M9, you're the first choice, so you get to choose whether you take a 425 or a 406. And then the second best one would have to be the last one where the wife helped with the Roundup. So I'm assuming that's Zach Y73. Congratulations guys. I'll contact you via the Lawn Hub Instagram, so you can claim your prize and I'll get them sent out to you. Other than that, guys, quick update on Mini Peel. I don't have much left at all. I think at the time of this recording, I think I've got about 25 buckets left, and unfortunately, like I said before, I'm not sure when the next stock comes in, or if it will. I'm not sure with the way the world is at the moment. What else? We've got Celiprin 4 kilo in the buckets. We've got Celiprin 100 mil. What else is new? That's about it, guys. So hope you enjoyed that one. Sorry we weren't able to get outside and do some mowing or some stuff. It's just been crazy here at Lawn Hub at the moment. I am looking to hire a picker and packer, so at the time that this video goes live, I'm still looking. So if you're interested, there's an add-on seat. We'll post that in the description down below. Other than that, guys, enjoy your Saturday. Let me know who you're going for in the footy. If you don't follow the footy, I don't know, let me know what you're doing then. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.